Hello. Hey. Hi. Hello. Hi. You know, some people when they watch a TV show, they just love to hate. And I know a few haters. And they can't enjoy anything. They can't. But this time, I might see where they're coming from. I might have to put my feet up to lock in. I've seen discussions about Gear 5 and how it's ruining One Piece. I'm sure you've seen them. But let me show you what they're talking about. In the past arcs, when Luffy's fighting against powerful people like Katakuri or Doflamingo, even Arlong, even Crocodile, literally everybody, actually, for that matter. Even Kaido. You can see and you can kind of sense the tension or the seriousness that are in the fights. Because it's expressed hard. You could see it in the facial expressions. You can see how they're talking. You can see it in more ways than just a few. So what people are trying to say about Gear 5 ruining One Piece is that it's too goofy and that the tension levels that there was when there was Katakuri and Doflamingo as the main villains compared to now is that there's no tension. And low-key, I see where they're coming from. But because Gear 5 doesn't always have tension doesn't mean that it can't have tension. In past fights like Doflamingo, Katakuri, Luffy had a specific reason to have the situation be that tense. Against Doflamingo, he was playing against time. If he didn't defeat Doflamingo quickly, then the birdcage would have smothered them all, and everybody would have died. The natural state of Gear 5 is to be goofy and to be silly, because I feel like Gear 5 is kind of like trying to be a distraction of the world. Like, they're trying to distract people from how serious everything is. And so far, like, throughout Egghead, there's been multiple examples where he should have been serious, where he wasn't serious. When Vegapunk was literally dying, and Luffy's eyes popped out of his head. Come on. That's definitely something that shouldn't be there, and I definitely see where these people are coming from. I wanted to add something that I just noticed. I was just looking back. After Vegapunk gets stabbed here, this is where Luffy gets serious. So I was actually wrong about that. Luffy gets serious right after Vegapunk gets stabbed. Because Vegapunk is literally dying. Can we lock in for a second? Which I guess that is a good reason for him to be motivated. Everyone's dying with Doflamingo. Vegapunk's dying here on Egghead. Luffy's still not serious. I don't know what that's about. And compared to recent fights against Kizaru, the Five Elders, even the end of the Kaido fight, Luffy's just been acting goofy. But I think Oda heard the feedback because then he dropped this panel. And this panel is the first time we have ever seen Gear 5 Luffy serious and in a tense moment. You can tell because his eyes are blacked out. So that goes back to my later point that because he isn't serious all the time and because there isn't tension all the time doesn't mean that there can't be tension. Proof right here, because he was serious here. He was serious. He doesn't want them to escape. He's very pissed off, to be honest. He's very pissed off. And I think Gear 5 is literally just Luffy's character, because Luffy is so outside of fighting and outside of being serious. This dude is goofy 24/7. He walks around goofing off. His brain barely even works, let's be honest. But the moments where he does have to be serious and he does have to lock in, he does. Except for when he's in Gear 5. But is this ruining One Piece? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, Gear 5 is his character, and at the end of the day, he will be serious in the tense moments, in these fights. There is times where he's going to be serious, like here, but he's just not going to be as serious all the time, because Gear 5 that's the theme of Gear 5. That's the character of Gear 5. He's goofy. He's kind of like a distraction for the world. I'm just going to read over some of these arguments I screenshotted. So this tweet says, who remembers when this dropped and people said turning Gear 5 whenever was ruining the sanctity. Is that even a word? Sanctity. Sanctity. The word titty is literally in the word sanctity. What is this word? Sanctity? Can I get a definition of sanctity? Ruining the sanctity of One Piece and the start of the series' downfall. And it's 2 panels of Luffy in giant mode smiling at Kizaru. I think that these 2 panels don't need tension. I think that the tension would be unnecessary completely. Alright, this next tweet says, this is genuinely starting to piss me off. This Gear 5 BS is not only ruining Luffy's character but also other characters. Imagine hyping up characters who was portrayed to be menacing and this Luffy makes them do crap like this. And then the thing says, it's a leak from a few chapters ago. It said, Luffy slaps Kizaru and Saturn together with his giant hands using a very strong attack called Gum Gum Dawn Symbol. So, what I have to say with the symbol and with his attacks are pretty random. Like with the baseball bat and the symbols, they're pretty random attacks. And they're pretty weird. However, I don't think that those attacks are ruining One Piece. I mean, that's just a crazy thing to say, that because he's being goofy and using these random, weird, funny attacks, that it's ruining One Piece. I don't think that's fair to say. It's not just the attacks. What they're trying to say is because he's being too goofy, that the tension doesn't even exist at all, which isn't true. The tension still is there. It's just way lower than it once was. But the tension is definitely starting to build itself back up. I mean, we were jumping to conclusions. If you were saying Gear 5 is ruining One Piece, you were 100% jumping to conclusions. Egghead is not over. The tension literally is just starting. The 5 elders are on the island. The tension is just starting. Give it some time, brother. Give it some time. Here's another one. The Warrior of Liberation, liberating the series from every last bit of tension and seriousness that makes the story enjoyable. Truly the most garbage transformation ever made. And it's about 4 or 5 examples of Luffy being unserious with his eyes popping out. Okay, this first one doesn't even make sense. This is when he's coming out of Gear 5. Second one, maybe. Third one, maybe. Fourth one, maybe. Fifth one, maybe. Like I said, I could see where the argument's coming from. I don't think it's ruining One Piece, though. It's ruining the tension, yes. Yes, Gear 5 is ruining tension. But it's not ruining One Piece because the tension will always be there and it will always come back. Egghead is not over. Can we please give it some time? The tension will come back, bro. I guarantee it. And another thing I saw about Gear 5, again, the tension that it's not tense because Luffy can't be defeated because he's too powerful in Gear 5. And this I 100% agree with, because Luffy has yet to be injured in Gear 5. Luffy has, I don't think an attack has actually hurt Luffy in Gear 5 yet, which is crazy. He hasn't even been injured yet in Gear 5. The only thing that has happened in Gear 5 is his time limit has run out. And that's his stamina problem. That's not even a getting hurt problem. But Luffy will 100% get hurt in Gear 5. It's not like he's gonna go untouched the rest of the series. That's ridiculous to say, and a ridiculous thing to even think. If you're thinking that, you're ridiculous. Luffy will 100% get injured again. He will 100% get touched again. He will 100% lose a fight again, I'm sure. In conclusion, how about we stop jumping to conclusions? That was a bar. Someone make me a rapper.
Yeah, I got an album. No. How many? But I'm not a rapper.
How about we stop jumping to conclusions and we lock in, let Oda cook, the tension will come back. If the tension doesn't come back, everyone who comments under this video will get my bank account numbers. Is Gear 5 ruining One Piece? No. Is Gear 5 ruining the tension? Yes. But the tension will come back. It's always present. It's not ruining One Piece, though. There's so many other things that go into One Piece besides Luffy, fellas. Can we be serious, please? Thank you. Have a great night, day, whatever. Next video is a gaming video. Still not sober yet. Is it raining?